I don't know. I didn't ask. They said, can you take it off? And I said, yeah, no worries.
A golfer lights up a cigarette mid-round like she's just killing time between holes. Another one shows up to Pebble Beach in a full-on sweatsuit, looking more gym-ready than tour-ready, while John Daly crushes a drive off a beer can like it's just another Monday. Every now and then tempers explode, rules get tested, and someone always does or says the one thing you're definitely not supposed to. You think golf's boring? Not after the stuff you're about to see. Let's start with the time when Robert Garrigus got banned for weed and then said what everyone else was afraid to. So Garrigus gets busted in 2019 for marijuana, and instead of pulling the usual "I've let my fans and family down" routine like everyone else, he basically said, yeah, I smoke weed. What about it? And the wildest part? He didn't stop there. He straight up said other guys on tour smoke too. They just haven't been caught yet. You could practically hear the PGA Tour scrambling to hit the mute button. It was supposed to be this clean, quiet little suspension, and Robert turned it into a whole thing. And he made a point too, like, how are opioids like Oxy totally fine with a prescription, but weed, which is legal in a bunch of states, gets you suspended? He wasn't even mad about getting caught. He was mad that the whole system made 0 sense. The man basically ripped the curtain off the gentleman's game and showed everyone it's not as squeaky clean as it pretends to be. In interviews, it was kind of iconic, but definitely inappropriate. On number 2, we have Natalie Gulbis turning the golf world upside down with body paint.
Natalie Gulbis, and I'm a professional golfer and play on the LPGA Tour.
So Natalie Gulbis pulls up in Sports Illustrated wearing literally nothing but body paint and a smile, and golf people just lose their minds, like actual meltdowns. Some were hyping her up for being confident and breaking barriers, and others were acting like she'd set fire to Augusta.
Featured her not only playing golf, but also striking poses in swimwear.
But this wasn't even her first rodeo. A year before, her 2004 calendar got banned from being sold at the US Women's Open because it was too sexy.
The United States Golf Association, USGA, barred it from being sold at the event, deeming it was inappropriate.
Too sexy for a calendar in 2004. That tells you everything you need to know about how uptight golf still was back then. Natalie wasn't doing anything other athletes hadn't done, just golf didn't know what to do with someone who actually had personality and looked good doing it.
Piece of art. And
the body paint shoot was the tipping point though. Suddenly everyone was arguing about what's appropriate for a female golfer and whether she was helping or hurting the game. It wasn't just a swimsuit shoot, it was a whole identity crisis for golf. Next we have John Daly using a beer can as a tee because he's John Daly. So John Daly rolls up to a charity event in 2017, looking like your favorite uncle who just woke up from a nap on a lawn chair. He's barefoot, got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and clearly does not care what anyone thinks. And then he goes full Daly and does the most him thing ever. Uses an unopened beer can as a tee. No joke. He puts the golf ball on top of it, takes a full swing, absolutely crushes it down the fairway, then casually picks up the can, cracks it open, and takes a huge swing. The crowd lost their minds. People were cheering like he just won the Masters. Meanwhile, somewhere out there, a golf rules committee probably had to lie down in a dark room. Any other player would have gotten roasted for not taking the sport seriously. But this is Daly we're talking about. He's built his whole identity on being the anti-golf golfer. The guy's wild, unpredictable, and clearly allergic to anything traditional. Was it inappropriate? Absolutely. Did anyone expect anything less? Not for a second. This man just turned golf into a tailgate party and somehow made it work. On number 4, we have Sergio Garcia having a total shoe meltdown. So it's 1999, World Match Play Championship, and Sergio Garcia's just 19, trying to prove himself. He lines up for a tee shot, swings, and boom, his back foot slips, and the ball goes flying into next week.
And finally, number 1 goes to Spanish.
Now, most players would just sigh, shake it off, maybe give their club a dirty look. Not Sergio. He rips off his shoe and launches it across the course like it personally offended him. Like, full-on overhand throw. The crowd gasped, probably thinking that was it, but nope.
And thankful to a helpful spectator, he gets it.
His manager, in full damage control mode, tosses the shoe back. And what does Sergio do? Kicks it again. This time, it nearly smacks the match referee in the face. Whole scene was part meltdown, part slapstick comedy. But let's be real, on a golf course where you're supposed to be calm, collected, and borderline boring, this was absolute madness.
It back, but he is not finished yet.
Golf is about keeping your emotions tucked in tighter than your polo. Sergio said no thanks and went into full chaos mode. Next is Charley Hull lighting a cig mid-round like she was on break. Charley Hull has this way of playing golf like it's just something she casually does between real-life errands. So during a Solheim Cup practice round, she randomly veers off course, walks right up to a fan, and goes, "Hey, got a lighter?" Guy's totally caught off guard, probably thinking she's joking, but nope, she lights up right there. On the fairway, mid-round, like she's waiting for a bus, not playing in one of the biggest international events in women's golf. Some fans laughed, some were horrified, and others were like, "That's the most British thing I've ever seen." The organizers probably pretended they didn't see it to avoid a PR headache, but everyone saw it. Videos hit the internet, people had opinions, and Charley, totally unfazed. It was such a weird combo of cool, chaotic, and completely inappropriate in golf world terms. Like, golf's whole brand is hydration, sports psychology, and clean lungs. And here's Charley just vibing with a smoke break mid-practice. Say what you want, but she definitely gave that tournament the most talked about moment before it even officially started. On number 6, there's Jason Day breaking golf's fashion code by wearing sweats.
Yeah, I think they asked me to take it off, the vest off yesterday.
The busy one?
Yeah, the busy one.
Jason Day showed up to the 2025 Pebble Beach Pro-Am looking like he'd just walked out of a lazy Sunday gym session. Full gray sweatsuit, no collar, no polo, just soft fabric and pure comfort. The old school golf crowd lost their minds. People were calling it disrespectful, unprofessional, even a threat to golf's so-called integrity.
There for Jason.
Did he lose his luggage?
Like, calm down, it's just clothes. But for a sport that still gets worked up over skirt lengths and tucked in shirts, this was basically a fashion crime. What really set people off was that it wasn't even a random outfit. It was a collab with Malbon Golf, a brand that's been poking at golf's outdated style rules for a while now.
Got enough distance to pull us off, but this is a crazy.
They've been trying to make golf more modern, more fun, and clearly a lot more comfy. But for the traditionalists, it wasn't just a sweatsuit, it was a full-on statement against golf. And the fact that Jason didn't care one bit, that's what made it so entertaining. Next is Tiger's big moment getting hijacked by a protest yell. 2018 British Open. Tiger Woods is on the 18th tee. Everyone's holding their breath. He's right there, possibly about to pull off one of the greatest comebacks ever. Total silence. Tension in the air. And then, some guy in the crowd yells, "Free Palestine," mid-backswing, like he's trying to ruin the moment on purpose.
He has to hope Molinari gives one back.
Tiger immediately flinches, loses his rhythm, and turns toward the dude like he's about to jump into the stands. The crowd was stunned. Security rushed in and dragged the guy out, but yeah, the moment was already gone. Tiger still hit the shot, but it wasn't the one he needed. That one scream basically shattered everything.
No! What are you doing?
People tried to defend the protest by pointing out the cause, but come on, wrong time, wrong place. Golf is super strict about silence during shots. You can't even sneeze near the tee box without getting side-eyed, so someone yelling during a championship-level backswing? Completely out of line.
Ball seems to be okay. That was not nice.
Tiger didn't deserve that. Nobody did. And honestly, it was one of the most jarring things ever to happen during a major. Not because of what was said, just because of when it was said. Lastly, it's the time when Bryson had to publicly shame a ball thief. So Bryson DeChambeau's walking off the green, throws a ball to this little kid in the crowd, just trying to give the kid a cool memory. And And then this grown man, full adult, no shame, reaches out and snatches it midair like it was the last donut at the office. You could hear the collective gasp from the crowd. Bryson saw the whole thing and just stopped. Didn't even hesitate. He turned around and called the guy out, loud enough for everyone to hear. It got real awkward real fast.
Get that ball back!
The man had no choice but to give it back, and the kid finally got his ball with a smile that could melt your heart. The crowd clapped like it was a movie ending. Golf usually avoids drama like this. Players don't really confront fans, but Bryson wasn't about to let some random dude ruin the vibe.
Man for the people.
In a sport obsessed with etiquette, it's wild that Bryson breaking the no confrontation rule. Totally inappropriate move from the grown-up, but Bryson handled it like a boss. Honestly, it was the kind of pettiness we all secretly root for. So which of these totally out of line golf moments had you shaking your head? Got a favorite? Or did we miss a scandal that deserves a spot on the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's see which moment wins the title of most inappropriate in golf history.